色五彩吉祥。
Alright, so today what we're gonna talk about is episode 3. We're gonna talk about RedNote, TikTok, all these hot topics, right? Yeah. So I think we start off with a little bit background of what happened. If like people don't know, but I think like a lot of people would know actually what happened. That's why they click into the video. Or
Yeah,
like
I think
whatever.
so. TikTok refugee, if you're there, please give this video like and subscribe our channel.
And also quite interesting, like right now, what's the date now, right? Today is Jan 20th, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually still a developing situation right
Yeah,
now. Right?
I
Like
think
last night, there's so many things that happened. Because like last time when you check the news, it's like nobody knows what's going to happen. Are they going to stop TikTok or not? So apparently TikTok actually stopped giving service to US netizens. And then this morning we wake up saying, okay, there's some partially services are back. And then they were saying like Donald Trump is going to kind of give them like a 90-day whatever period to figure out what's going on. I don't even know what's going to happen next. So, yeah, so just keep in mind we're just talking right now, but it's still a developing situation right now.
Exactly.
So if you are watching this video and then TikTok already 50% owned by the state, we just took a long time to edit it. So
That's very likely what's going to happen.
Yeah, so I think the storyline is, when I woke up, it's like, oh, like they stopped TikTok, and then like several hours later, I was starting reading the news, and then tell me, oh, it's back online, right? So
Yeah.
it's like very
Absolutely.
dramatic within the past like 24 hours, 48 hours,
yeah.
and then I read the article. It's like they include Donald Trump's name a lot in the notification, whatever. Say, oh, like because we had a talk with Trump, so through his help, right, we are able to secure that we're actually not how do you say, breaking the law, and then we're back online right now. So you can see like all these like Zuckerberg, all these like TikTok, even like all these companies like pivoting towards Donald Trump already, even though he is not even in the office yet, right?
Well, he's going to be in the office in the next...
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
And he just dropped the Trump coin, no?
The coin.
Kind of meme coin.
It's crazy. Is
And
that
then
even
apparently
legal?
Everyone is
But I
doing
think
that
before,
nowadays.
if he did that before he's taking over the office, then it's legal in a
And
way.
apparently that coin has already went up like, I don't know how many 100% and then dropped again or something.
Yeah.
I don't follow with this kind of thing anymore, man.
Yeah.
It could be another $1 million opportunity that I missed, which is not the first time that happened in my life. So,
Well, you have a mentor. So
Oh yeah. So if you watch
follow Yuchi's Instagram, you find out the whole
oh
story.
my
how
goodness.
to cash out $50,000.
Or watch our last episode and you figure out what we're talking
Yes,
about.
it's a massive fraud that happened on me.
Right. So okay, I'm the one to have to kill Liu Cheng, right? So
So let's start from the very beginning, right? So I think one day when I woke up, because I used Red a lot, I was trying to be an influencer on Red, and apparently I failed.
What's its official name now? Is it Red or RedNote?
I think RedNote, they registered this name like
Right.
overseas, but like when you're dealing with Chinese company that are doing business overseas, their overseas entity called RedNote. So
Right.
RedNote, the name has been there for a long time.
So it's not the little red book.
It's just too long for them
okay.
for foreigners to pronounce and remember. So
Yeah.
just call it Red or RedNote.
Yeah.
Because a little red,
Red
book,
book
it's
or RedNote.
Little red book is the literal translation of that app's Chinese name.
Yeah.
So just for people's background.
Yeah. So like one day I woke up and I saw like people are like, what's going on? Like I didn't use my VPN, but how come like all my feed, all my FY for your page are all like foreigners? What is happening?
yeah.
It's like the most magical, and is there even word for 魔幻 in English?
Surreal.
Surreal?
I mean,
I think surreal is not enough, you know.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's
sorry.
like you're watching a sci-fi movie, and then suddenly
Right.
there's the invisible wall. It's gone. You'll be questioning yourself, what is happening? Is
Two
the world
worlds
ending?
started to merge. The world started to merge again.
Yeah, and at first I thought it's a joke. I thought it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, some people chasing cloud, like, and
Oh,
then
wow.
I think once you start watching this kind of content, they just keep pushing you more and more those like TikTok refugees. And then one day I received a message from my VP in the States, and he sent me this article. It's from TechCrunch, like how because TikTok's gonna get banned, like Red is the number one downloading app on Apple App Store.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, what's going on? And then that's when I realized shit is getting real. Like,
No, you're absolutely right, because like I think Bao, actually you told me about this whole TikTok refugee situation like sometime mid last week. When I first saw it, I thought it's just gonna be. I didn't really think it's a very, very serious thing. It's just gonna be a very temporary trend that people comes to run, and then it's gonna die down. It's gonna be a very confined within that social media part, and then later on in the next following days, every news that I see is talking about this situation. It's talking about all the influx of TikTok users because they are so afraid of the TikTok going to stop the work. And then those news outlets that talk about it are usually the ones that talks about very serious, like news and political stuff or like the social situation. So that's when I realized this whole thing has taken way more attention than I initially thought.
Yeah, because at first you thought just a group of people who trying to be experimental.
I thought so too.
You never thought it's gonna actually form a social wave that everyone is doing it.
Absolutely.
And how would you thought that the reason that people, the first time that American people really want to know China is because U.S. government is using the name to protect national
ironic,
security.
right?
Yeah.
Like.
So like a lot of people would say like this is just a giant middle finger that like the TikTok users are giving the government, right?
I heard of that. I heard about people saying, you know, like you're banging TikTok because you don't want China to take your personal data or whatever. Then you know what? Screw you. Let's just get on a real Chinese app.
Then they're like, take my data. Like,
exactly. It was like a lot of memes about that. Like, where's the China spy? I mean, come on me. Am I useless? Like, take my data.
To be honest, that's a very interesting point about like how much do people really care about personal data in a way. I don't know how other people see it, right? Because like in the past, you see people really care about any app. I'm not talking about like Chinese app or like US app, right? Just in general, you know, how people don't want cookie to follow them, you know, don't to record their online app behavior. And then there's a lot of these kind of a privacy protection acts that comes in point. So I was under the impression that everyone wants to be kind of anonymous and nobody tracking their online behavior, right? And then now it seems like people are willing to, in exchange, because this is always a value exchange, right? You exchange your kind of a behavior pattern or kind of personal information in exchange for more tailored internet experience.
Exactly.
Or people just saying they're so into a social media app that they use 24/7 in a way that they're willing to, you know what, screw personal information. Let me just get to a place.
You know, like I think that part is also true. Like both parts, like the base is that like people don't want to get told what to do.
Yeah.
I think that is the true reason.
And also I think and also like so many people from the States are actually making money from TikTok.
Oh yeah.
If you think about it, so many
for sure.
The most mainstream social app in the States right now is TikTok. Right.
Yeah.
Like a lot of young people, they're saying that they actually don't use Reels, right? They don't use Shorts, they don't use Reels, they only use TikTok. I think it's only people like us will use Reels because TikTok is banned in Hong Kong. We have to use Douyin, right?
Yeah.
So like,
so TikTok really was the one with the biggest traffic.
It is, and so many people are making money from it. It actually changed a lot of people's life.
Exactly.
A lot of people during COVID, they cannot find a job. They make money from creating content.
Yeah.
And suddenly one day, they're like government telling you that, oh, we're protecting the national security, so we're gonna stop this, and people don't even have a way to fight back. So I think that's why we make people so angry.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like I think China, we have always been criticized on, you know, like we don't have privacy.
Be careful.
We don't have like.
Be careful. Okay, go on.
No, just how people were criticizing us.
Oh, okay.
Right? If you go out, if you go hang out with like people from the States, people be like, oh, you guys don't have privacy, like the country have your data. But now they feel us, you know? Like probably some people really don't care. Like I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's not like my data are valuable. And if you think about it, I think when something is free, then you are the product, right? That's what social media is all about.
Agree.
That's how they're making money. So why not? Okay, it sounds so wrong, but sometimes I just feel like it's okay to have my data so I can have more tailored ads, so I can buy the thing I want.
Yeah.
I can have
That's a
more
really good
tailored like
point.
content as well.
I think I'm a little biased because I work in the ad tech industry, right? So for me, I always say is that you're gonna see ads anyway.
Yeah.
Like if you're using these apps or like service for free, you're gonna have to see ads. Then would you rather see like ads that's random, has no interest with you whatsoever, or you want to see some tailored ads that kind of about things that you really are interested in? So but that's kind of customization, that tailored content is based on your tracking your behavior, tracking your pattern,
Yeah.
tracking what interests you, right? So it's a value exchange.
Yeah.
I mean, or you just don't use social apps if you really care about your personal data.
Plus also at the end of the day, these are all, for me, I think these are purely commercial stuff. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what kind of, like, okay, I'm just thinking to an extreme, right? Like a really, really conspiracy theory way of thinking, right? What kind of data can TikTok get that can actually hurt America's security? I don't know, because it's really just a bunch of teenagers like simping over like a content,
Sexy dancing ladies.
sexy girls or
So I
like a
think
cute
that's
guy.
why like people are so angry, because like
Right, it's
then they
just
feel like
daily
it's the
life.
first time like both parties are so united to ban one thing.
Yeah.
So
But maybe might as well we just kind of touch on like what do you guys think about the real reason that like behind it, like the government trying to ban TikTok, right? But like personally, I don't think like national security, it's like a data security. It's not the priority. It's not the number one reason.
I think it's more symbolic, because it's backed by China tech company. I think it's definitely more symbolic than anything. And I think no one will see this coming, that such a ban will create a social wave of people migrating to RedNote. And I think because of such ban, it accidentally created the most beautiful thing right now, where you see actually American people actually connecting with Chinese people. And I feel like the last time we've seen something like this is like 10 years ago. It's
Where
when people
like
were
we sent
using,
out a panda to the United States. What happened 10 years ago though?
it's
I
like
want to
when
know.
you can use like
A chat relay again? He's like,
chat relay, you can
chat
use
relay.
Facebook. I think, or you can use like all those forums, like connecting you with people to like chat randomly. I think it has been such a long time since there is a social app that truly connects people from everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like the social apps right now, it's always have some sort of limitation. Like you cannot use Meta in mainland China, you cannot use Meta in Russia. Like US people, they cannot use like Douyin, like they cannot use Kuaishou. So
Yeah.
we've living the most globalized era, but somehow we're living at the most segregated era at the same time.
Yeah, I just feel like it's kind of stupid. You just create like a virtual wall to kind of want to stop people from talking to each other. It's like at the end of the day, they will find a way to break that wall, penetrate that wall, I think.
No, to be honest, I don't know how long this whole positive vibe of the two cultures collapsing can last.
Yeah.
The real reason is we all know that apps like this, they kind of give you contents based on what you're interested in, right?
Yeah.
So in the beginning, it's kind of now what's going on is kind of like a perfect storm, because one is that somehow the RedNote becomes the app that there's an influx. And RedNote, you guys probably know, is that before the TikTok refugees fluxed in, RedNote, a lot of those users are I think there's a majority of female. Female is like a slightly larger percentage, right? And then also users mainly come from the tier 1 cities in China. A lot of people also who has international experience that use RedNote. So out of a lot of different like local Chinese social network, I think RedNote is the best one to welcome all the foreigners coming in, because these are the people who knows English, who are open-minded, who are worldly, who knows how to communicate with these people, right? So imagine if people comes in
from Kuaishou, can you
onto
imagine?
Kuaishou, I think that's gonna be a very different
Yeah.
situation right now because for people who don't know, right, Kuaishou is also another massively popular app in China, but it targets a bit more grounded people. A lot of like say maybe second tier, third tier, little
Yeah.
smaller cities.
Well,
and a
the
lot of very
Chinese
local-
rednecks.
Like the real, yeah.
Well, in
It
a way,
sounds so
yes.
wrong, but like we're not saying it in like in a mean way, but it just if you
it's
try
the
to look at the
easiest way
user
to
audience
understand that,
demographic,
yes.
right? And also the thing is, RedNote, I think it's the only app in China that you can actually register with any country's phone number, because it started as a shopping guide, shopping hall platform, and a lot of I think a lot of the user from overseas are like Chinese community.
Yeah.
So that actually has a huge audience in Singapore, in Australia, in US, those Chinese migrants. So that's why the platform itself allow like foreigners to just register and then use the app. I think, and right now we're in a honeymoon period, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
honeymoon
like
period.
two people dating. Like it's
just
so
be-
cool. Like
I
so
want
much
to know everything
excitement.
about you.
Yeah.
And once I think the refugees kind of really settle down in Red or something, they're gonna start really going back to the contents that they are interested in, and the algorithm probably will naturally start separating
Yeah.
people again.
But I think we should still go back to like how this is the first time, you know, like Chinese people and American people actually communicate. It's actually kind of beautiful if you look at it.
I agree.
Like, I think, okay, to be honest, we are a little bit more international, and the people we talk to from the States are a little bit more international. Like, we don't really have friends who never travel to China, who never travel to Asia.
We have you
We
said
don't really have a lot of like, if you look at your US friend, they probably are pretty international themselves as well. But if you really look at an average American, I think a lot of people, they do have a lot of like,
prejudice.
yeah, about China. I think that's why people like US people, they're saying that they're having a culture shock, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So the state media of China actually here quoted that like the RedNote kind of phenomenon right now, they call it the virtual China travel, right? So because recently we opened up the visa thing, so like almost like you're from like any country can just get in for travel like 144 hours, right? So because of that, people are coming in, making a lot of videos about China, actually physically being here. And then you have the RedNote. Now it's like virtually you're traveling China as well, right? Yeah. So that actually brings you a lot of cultural shocks. So you get to know China, you know, from like P2P, point to point. Like, I don't want to, you know, take your corporate news or like Fox News, CNN, talk about China anymore. I'm gonna get to know about Chinese. Tell me what's happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the RedNote right now, it always had a good atmosphere where I think most people who create content on RedNote are still like real independent, like people. We're not talking about like a lot of like MC and kind of companies doing in general, so still feels very
Industrialized
Yeah,
stuff.
it's not industrialized. It still feels very genuine, right?
Okay.
So the information exchange that's happening right now, it still feels very genuine, which I think is fantastic because, you know, China, if this kind of sort of information communication is done by the state, usually it comes across as very kind of old school, corny, or just like, people's not gonna love it. But when it's done by actual real people, it's way better. They do a way better job of, you know, telling the real China than states ever do.
Yeah. So I think like for the real reason that like the U.S. government trying to ban TikTok, I really think that it's about just media control.
Yeah.
Right. I think like it's like a year ago, like when the Israel and the Palestine started to kind of like fighting against each other. The war like started out, and then like a week or 2 weeks later, and then like the TikTok ban was just coming out. Right, so a lot of people have been saying that like because of TikTok, a lot of like pro-Palestine videos was just popping out, and they can't really control the content, right? And that's why, you know, the deep state was trying to ban the whole thing because it's getting out of control. And also a lot of potential buyer for TikTok also say that like, ByteDance, you should just sell it to U.S. Owners, because just look at how China runs. Every single country cannot allow such a big social media app owned by another country, right? Because you just lose control. Because nowadays, right, no one, as like young people, no one reads news, corporate news from like CNN or whatever anymore, right?
Right.
People just like turn on maybe social media or like TikTok, right? So like people are not, you can't really control your brainwash your people through the old-fashioned way anymore, right? So nowadays, if you want to control the media, it's kind of like you have to control all these big platforms. You want to control X, you want to control Meta, you want to control TikTok.
Yeah.
Right, so I think that is probably the real reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think why we are so serious this
Yeah,
episode.
why are we so serious about
I
that?
think we should more talk about more
was
about the
like,
beautiful stuff,
oh, we're
about this
talking about
connection,
deep
you
state
know?
now.
Yo.
Oh,
Because I do feel like
Bored
we should
out.
open the thing, like open the thing we prepared.
We might have to just
yeah,
cut
that's
it
true,
out.
That's true.
No, because I really think we should spend more time talking about like the connection between like
Absolutely.
the general publics, you know, because I feel like all we talk about is government action, but I think
we
deep
can
down
guess.
inside,
I will never find out the reason why, but I think for us, I've been just really enjoying
yeah, me too.
the contents these days, starting from, I don't know,
People
cat
helping,
tax. No, starting
cat
from
tax,
cat tax.
dog tax,
I don't even know how that become a thing. Cat
and also
tax.
people, U.S.
Cat
people
tax.
helping
Yeah.
Chinese people doing like
Homework.
English homework they got all wrong.
We've been trying to help them with their math homework.
I
Real,
feel like this
real,
is something.
You know what's the cat tax, right?
I know.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's a beautiful thing. And then
Yeah.
that's
Show
like,
me your
you know,
pussy cat, right?
Oh my God.
Showing up your cat. I'm just saying showing up your cat because apparently it's a universal language of showing
Oh,
your
really?
you showing that you're friendly.
No, people been asking how wrinkled is your cat.
Oh my god.
Can we ban this dude from our podcast?
I
Remember the notes he took for himself?
But it's not for me. The question is from the guys. I'm just like, quoting the people. Okay, it's like another phenomenon. Like people just find out that, oh, actually, Chinese just as horny as we are, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that makes real connection. It's like
That-
those
that-
are real people. just
Absolutely.
like us.
That is the quote I love the most. They were saying,
Do we have it? Can we put it
do
up
we have
here?
that quote somewhere?
From where? I don't
think
know.
he
I think
posted
it's
in the
on
group.
probably I posted in the group. It's one of the picture. Anyways, the guy, just paraphrasing, the guy saying, finding out that Chinese people are just as horny and as unhinged as we are,
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
done more about like this friendship as anything has done ever. I think this is great. It's just like,
Yeah.
now people just finding out that, the humor that people enjoy is the kind of maybe the darker humors
Yeah.
or that kind of unseriousness of people. It's just enjoyed globally, right?
Yeah.
No matter how that kind of a geopolitical state people might think it's getting
Is
between
that-
of us,
is
but
that
there's
from
so
here?
many things
Oh,
that people enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh
What about
my
this one?
God.
Hey, bro, I think you can name Diao Mao means very well.
So basically, someone is asking his Chinese friend to give him a Chinese name, and then
That's
the guy
good.
just said Diao Mao. Wow.
Which was a pube.
Would you? Yes, bro. Just tell them what does this mean.
That's wrong, man. That's not being friendly. What about this dude? Oh,
Oh, it's about I'm sorry.
dude, how is that a thing?
I didn't even know that I'm sorry is a thing.
yeah, I
until
didn't know it's
saw
a thing
this.
as well.
Okay. So like basically like human nature, you guys would figure it out. So like a beautiful picture of a white lady here, and then people just commenting from China is like, sorry, human nature, not nature. On the contrary, I'm sorry. And then later on they were like, I'm sorry with paper towel.
With the little toilet paper roll right there. Everyone knows what you're talking about now.
I don't know if I know Chinese language. Oh wait, what is this?
You didn't understand this.
New. What does that mean?
Bao, tell our English speaking friends what this means.
看看你 new new. Can it's look. New is cow.
Yeah. What else? Oh, this one is even more direct, right? So this guy was just asking
my
you like, do
God.
you think I could be a model?
Okay, I think we should talk about like Red. You have a lot of female user there, and I think female are just as horny as male.
Exactly, and
That's
even
something
I just we
found out.
express it in a very decent, indirect way. We don't say I'm sorry. We just say like,
oh, is this
You
more
just say
decent?
I mean, that's as direct as you can be.
Dude, but that's like if I'm a female and then I look at like, oh, there's like so many good-looking white dudes just out of sudden pop up in my feed. I would be excited
yeah,
sexually as well.
I think we're very excited in the app.
Do you think a lot of those are fake accounts though?
Oh, that's like
I
another
think
thing.
some are, but if you look at it, like you look at how they post, I don't think they look like fake accounts. Like they don't look like they're MCN accounts.
So they're
Yeah.
real hot
I
white
think if their
dudes.
influencer account, probably like an agency helped them to migrate their stuff to Red. But I think if you're just normal people, I think it's a real account. Yeah, those emojis. That's how women on Little Red Book we express our desire and our passion towards a good-looking man.
Wow. Okay.
How do you explain this? This is like they're like eating guazi. How do you? It's like we're eating popcorn, watching a show.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
Townsend. That's a how do you say Townsend?
Well, it's the main character
What
of
is
Journey
he,
to the
OG?
Journey to the West, right? Journey to the
So
West.
basically, he's a monk.
Everyone knows the Monkey King now. So this is the Monkey King's master, the monk that he's protecting along the way, all the way
Yeah.
to the west to get
Yeah.
the scriptures.
So basically, you're a monk. You're not supposed to be horny as a monk, but
Yeah.
you need that kind of contrary.
And now we're just watching popcorn and enjoying good-looking men.
Asking inappropriate questions.
What is it?
Oh my goodness. She's
Yes.
literally just eating a banana.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes,
but this
girl.
is exactly. But this is from the States, right? So this
I think they're catching up. They're catching up how to probably use like GIF and emoji on this app.
That's good.
For me, this really also is an eye opener. Like, I thought only guys would just like post these unhinged comments underneath girls, like a hot girls one, but these are hilarious.
Don't underestimate women. I'm telling
Oh my
you.
goodness.
What else is that like? Maybe this one as well.
We don't have to explain that one.
What is
Yeah.
it? Maybe this one. Okay, so now we're getting into some like conflicts. How about
Yeah.
that? Like,
Here's one right here. Downloaded the little Red Book app. This app
let's
is going
play
to
this video.
undo
It's like
decades
2
of
minutes.
U.S. propaganda. I'm already jealous of their cars. It's been really funny for me to see so many people that are transitioning over to being huge fans of like China because of the TikTok ban.
In short, there's been a ton of people praising China after this new TikTok substitute app finally showed how it was really like to live there. And then
Oh no, here we go. A Chinese man on Jiangsu has made a video telling American TikTok refugees to keep their sexuality and transgender shit to themselves, and they're getting mad at him.
We hate this shit. There's only two gender out here, male and female. If you are gay, just be gay. Don't talk about you're gay. We all know you're gay. Just don't talk about it. If you're a lesbian, you cool. You cool. If you're LGBTQ, whatever, keep that shit to yourself. There's no gay marriage out here. That's against the law. So keep that shit to yourself. Don't swing that shit to someone else's daughter or son.
So now
We
they're
hate
now
this
they're getting
shit.
mad about it. You got a bunch of these comments here. Man, the transphobia is gonna make me delete the app. Certainly did not expect the homophobia. What the fuck? It is a shock to me that they did not expect this. All white people, stop using RedNote. You bring pervert and slut behavior to RedNote. Look at this white slut already spread slut virus on RedNote. Shake arm fat like a country flag. So a guy posts on the Chinese app. Who could have guessed? Do you know they're racist? There's people that are being racist. Reply. Don't say that at all. It's better to not say that. He says, I am a racist. Join RedNote. Start posting. Taiwan is a country. Free Tibet. COVID came from China. Uyghur concentration camps. Tiananmen Square massacre. Account suspension notice.
like this is like the past honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah.
What is this?
I mean, This is China.
I mean, I expect this to happen
Yeah.
like real fast because like this shows that there are censorship like in both countries. It's
Exactly.
different ones.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
people here, you see them using the N word, you see them using all those like homophobia words, and then it's all good.
Yeah.
But once you touch on those sensitive topics that talks about, let's say the Uyghur,
Like political.
the political ones, you got banned instantaneously.
Exactly.
It's the opposite of US, right? The
Yeah.
US sensitive topics are completely different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like in US you could talk about politics that they're just jokes, right?
Yeah, but you if you're being like transphobic or like you're being homophobic,
If
then
being
you-
racist, then it's like
Yeah,
different.
you're probably not going to be banned by the platform, but you're pretty
Banned
much
by the
gonna
people.
get
Yeah.
canceled. Exactly. So I see this as also a very interesting part of the culture communication that's happening right now.
Yeah, I think it's give and take, like
Because you gotta know, like every society has those sensitive topics because of the history that they went through.
Wow.
Right?
yeah.
I
If you
agree.
look at China, like we are not that woke, but I think it's totally fine. Like we still have a lot of people, friends from
Yeah.
LGBT group, and we respect it.
I'm pretty sure like one of the things I've seen already on this whole refugee situation, the RedNote refugee situation, is that people already found out like where I was born, Chengdu is the gay capital of China.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
So I think it's just
people
we-
here in China don't hide that, and then they
Yeah.
still talk about it. So I don't think we are as like homophobic as people think.
Yeah,
We
and
are.
also if you see like the N word, it just I think race was never.
was never
It's not
really
a thing.
Because we have only one race here, right?
Yeah, I mean we do have like ethnic minority group, but
Yeah.
most of us we're like
Yeah,
Hands-
So the
people,
racial
like-
tension that happened in the U.S. never really happened in China.
Yeah, just something not applicable to China at all. So I think it's not because when we say it, we don't mean it that way. It's just people think it's cool. They learn it from rap. That's it.
Is there racist people in China? Of course there is.
Yeah.
But I just think like the whole N word and this racial tension thing was just not really a big concern here
Yeah.
in this society.
I do want to say like when I was studying in States, like the it's not that woke either back in 10 years ago, because like my real personal experience, like a black dude, which is it was my classmate, which ran up to me and be like, "What's up, Chink?" Right? And but like he didn't mean it.
Probably you should be angry.
I think you should probably do something about that.
No,
If you just
no,
call-
but it's actually cool,
did
right?
you call him the N word though?
Well, no, I didn't even know the N words. Like, but the thing is, like, but we are actually having a very friendly, nice conversation after that. It's like, and then I would just seeing that like a white classmate was just like saying the N word to a black classmate, and they were just
And they were all cool about it,
they're all
right?
cool about it. It's like
that's what I like though.
Yeah.
yeah, so it's actually not. Maybe 10 years ago it was not that serious, and then now it's just like if you put it online, maybe it's just like a lot more critical, and then like everybody's judging you, this and that. I mean, even racial jokes or whatever could be, could be something that we could just laugh about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh well.
So I guess really is just the cultural shock because when the U.S. netizens come into the Red Notes and realize we can joke about things that they are
Yeah,
really uncomfortable joking about.
There are a lot of people who want to stay, I guess, because they cannot express the same thing in
Honestly,
the States.
right? I've seen some of those memes, like people just throwing out Nazi jokes and everything in China, like very unhinged, which is hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Can we find out? Is that this one or which one is this? Which one should we look at? Should we talk about this right now?
That honestly, I didn't really understand that much about this whole article. So basically, this article is saying before TikTok was gonna fully shut down, a lot of those influencers come out to admit that a lot of things that they do is a facade, it's fake.
Yeah, it's all
I
like.
don't understand what they would.
I
really
think they're
do
trying to chase the last wave of traffic, getting a last wave of like cloud chasing, and then they didn't realize it's gonna go that way, so they dropped. Like a lot of people are very disappointed at those influencers. They
So
realize.
that become the last kind of the latest trend is just to shit on influencers.
Yeah, I think some.
No, it's the
self-exposed?
influencers itself just be
Yeah,
fessed up
expose
about like I'm all
themselves.
fake, I'm imposter, I'm just
Yeah.
acting all the time.
like
like
all
I-
my workout video are fake. I stopped workout immediately after I
See,
stopped
what
filming.
I don't understand is it's just TikTok being banned, right? They can still be on, I don't know, IG and stuff.
But
It's
most
like-
of their, like, if you look at like a lot of influencers, TikTok followers and Instagram followers, they're like completely
Yeah.
huge
Really?
gap, huge gap.
Yeah. Like I have 5K on Instagram, but I'm so famous on TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh,
They have
Yeah.
like 1 million followers on TikTok, probably only like
I see.
100K, less than 100K.
Yeah.
followers.
So if it ends everything for
Yeah.
me. It's like the virtual me die.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Actually, you can look at it that way. Basically, killing someone virtually.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
s-
I'm
so it's
gone.
almost like, before someone died, they become very honest and tells you about all
Yeah,
their dirty little
confess.
secrets.
I think
That's
so.
an
Yeah.
interesting one.
It's like, like when I look at this, like I actually follow this girl on TikTok as well. She actually quite famous. It's like
Who else are you following on TikTok?
a lot of
Girl.
inspirational
Figures. Yes. I wonder how they feel like, after just a few hours and then the TikTok's back online.
Exactly. They'll be like, oh, regret
They're
doing
like,
I just kidding.
I'm just kidding. That was all a joke.
But like, if you really, really dig deep into it, I think it's like, maybe when this girl started off, like she loves her job, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just like, wow, you're like doing like, I do makeup. I enjoy sharing with other people, but like step by step, like, for example, in this quote, she was saying that like, oh, out of sudden people just love me having a mug, drinking coffee. Oh, now I'm going to do that. Oh, I figured out why people love me doing workout, yoga. I'm going to do that. So I think like slowly, step by step, you just like move towards a way that it's like so far away from
Yeah.
your true self.
Yeah.
But like the fake self, it's the one that getting all the clicks and likes.
Yep.
So you're living someone else's life.
So you
Yeah.
kind of mold yourself into a caricature.
But I think people are just having too much expectation on TikTok influence because it's a job. It's an
Oh, yeah.
occupation,
Okay.
like you have to figure out what the audience like and then you slowly change your content strategy to make it fit the market. So the fact that you believe influencer are what they like, it's just like you believe in celebrities or what they look like in front of cameras, they're what they're talking about in the magazine and interviews, then I think it's kind of like you overestimate like influencers.
Hey, Real, do you think this is what's gonna happen to you
Oh, me?
if we continue doing this whole?
I don't
this
know.
whole thing?
Yeah, maybe they just let me like take my shirt off. I don't know, doing dirty jokes.
Here we go again.
I don't know, but I think I really don't know. But like I think money, views, fame can really change someone. Right?
I think
slowly
so.
by slowly, and then when you look back, out of sudden, it's, oh, TikTok's gonna die. My virtual me is gonna die. Now I look back and be like, oh, I wanna confess. This is not
Yeah.
me. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think if we get really famous, are we still gonna be friends? If I have 1 million
Everything has
followers,
a price. Friend also has a price. We're still friends because
we're all poor. We don't want to
think
work.
about it, right? I mean, think about it this way. What if somehow we got ourselves into this whatever situation that betraying, for example, me betraying you means I can actually just take, I don't know, 20 million USDs away.
Will
Would you do that?
20 millions? I
Yeah.
do it.
Right?
I do it. Yeah. So you're worth 20 million.
Ask me.
Will you do it for $100? Betray me.
It's not about the money. I will pay to betray you.
But like you also think about it, like we started off like this, and just one of us get really famous, not the rest of the two.
This happened to most of
No,
the girl
yeah,
groups,
I
right?
actually,
Like those-
I actually think this is, even if this whole podcast thing kicks off, I think this is realistic. What's gonna happen is that probably one of us is gonna get famous, and then the other ones, if you still enjoy doing this, will just start being more on the back, right?
yeah.
Doing some editing, planning on topics, doing research and stuff. Maybe you feel like you're not really comfortable about the fame.
Yeah.
or-
I think some people
I
they
don't
want to
know.
make money more than want to be famous.
Yeah,
you
not
know?
everyone enjoys the
So-
spotlight that much.
Yeah. Okay, Q Liu Chen. What's the next thing?
I think we should talk about what's gonna happen on this app. Like on Red.
One red?
Yeah, because I feel
okay.
like, as Yuchi mentioned, right, this is not something gonna last forever. Just like the example we saw, like all the censorship and everything. Because right now, I think Reddit's app, they filter a lot of contents manually,
Right.
right? So they do when you post a post, you need to wait for 5 minutes to really upload it so everyone can see it. And I think that process, most of it is done by
Manual sense.
yeah.
Like,
So I think somehow what I think gonna happen is that Red gonna block all the foreign IPs, so you cannot go to the Red we're using right now, and they will create another app. It's like TikTok and Douyin,
just separate the two groups of users.
So just
I
for
think that's-
international users, I think that's what gonna make sense.
Really? I don't think so. I really don't think so.
I
Like-
actually think that's likely to happen just because the fact that Red probably want to keep those traffic. They
Yeah.
want those new influx of users, but also at the same time they gotta have to make sure some sort of censorship is in place
Yeah.
before they start talking all about those political
Yeah.
stuff on Red, right? So they
Yeah.
probably easiest way for them, I would say, is to create two separate.
Apps, and also with the
Yeah.
data privacy, and I think what was the thing that Kelly said, PIPC
Oh, yeah.
or
Yep,
something.
yep.
Like you have to separate the data pool, and also I think that's why a lot some of my US friends are saying that they think this whole TikTok refugee thing take Red purposely marketing this and planning this. I don't believe this, because if you look at Red, it's not an entertainment app. And the user amount is only 1/4 of Douyin. The daily content that got created, I think it's only 1/4 or 1/5 of Douyin. I think what Red really focused on is the quality and the value of how it can be converted into transaction. That's what Red all about. With all those TikTok refugees, how are they gonna monetize the thing?
Right.
Right? I think they can only separate it. They create a Red store international version for it. And I think it's kind of messed up the local algorithm as well.
Right.
How do you make transaction? Now you have all the cloud, but how are you gonna make foreign people pay on this app? That's the main question. Because if you look at back in Q4 last quarter, Red was trying so hard to they're trying so hard to regulate the Red store, regulate the creator content creation with agencies. You have to use their platform to work with influencers. Otherwise, they have really, really strict traffic control as well. So I think an app like this, they're not Douyin, they're not TikTok, they're not looking for general public. They're not just looking for, they don't care about the user numbers and the contents number. They care about quality. How can they make money? So I think if you look at that way, I think they're definitely going to separate the platform.
So you're saying Red, for their strategy in the past, they really want to have users that have that purchasing power.
Yeah,
right?
That's what Red's all
So
about.
they're chasing after the conversion.
But
Yeah.
the thing is you can do it in one app though, right? You still can.
But I think if you look at in the legal terms, I don't think you can do it.
Well, legal, but legal according to what countries though, right?
Like China and also foreign,
What's
those
that?
data are stored in China. Right?
Yeah, well, okay.
It's
I think generally just means the personal information and personal identifiable information of those Chinese users has to be physically stored within China. It cannot just go out.
for
right?
sure, yeah, because it's a Xiaohongshu, right? For
Yeah.
sure, it's in
Yeah.
China.
But what I found that's very interesting is that, the other days, we saw a state media actually commenting and talking about the collage of two culture on this app. It's a great thing. They seem to be very supportive of that.
Yeah.
And usually, if the state media think, hey, this is a good thing to have these two cultures and people communicating and exchanging informations and cultures, everything on it, do you still think Red is gonna separate the two traffics?
So from my point of view, I don't think they're gonna separate it because I first of all I reread a lot of those state media from China that it seems like they're embracing the government.
Yeah,
actually
they're really embracing it. That's
right.
That's one way to put
And
it.
then if they said it already, and also it seems like people are okay with this this communication in one app, and how it would feel kind of weird that now gonna separate you guys. it's just not cool, right? As
A
like
lot of things are not cool. Banning TikTok is not cool, but people still do it.
Yeah, and for I think like it's okay for the Chinese government to have the U.S. users data in China, right?
Yeah.
So like we're okay. It's just like the U.S. government is not gonna be cool about this. That we have the data, right? So it's not I don't think it's like a legal thing. At least like they're gonna ban Xiaohongshu again in the States, right?
Yeah.
They can do that, right? And what else am I gonna say?
So I think they're gonna create 2 apps, but I think a lot of US users are gonna use VPN to go to China to use the local version. Because I really think censorship is a huge problem.
So, like, because of this censorship, and from some of the Asmongold's video, we saw that now when the U.S. users are seeing the real China part,
Yeah.
will they still have that fascination, or they kind of start realizing, oh my God, you people are racist?
I mean, some people they will not stay on this app, but some people will.
Yeah. So I want to add in one more thing. Like, people also kind of want a reference to WeChat as well, because WeChat is actually one app globally.
Right.
And if you're like a foreign, you're Canadian, you only have a Canadian passport, you can actually talk to anyone on WeChat,
Oh, for sure.
Chinese, whatever. Right. So they said like it's actually one app. One app could work. Right. So also WeChat is kind of like a social media if you look it into that way, because you could actually pull a group with like 500 people and then you talk stuff and people listen to it. But that's where the censorship come in, right? If you use like one-on-one DM, they don't really censor that much, but they still censor. But if like a 500 people group, or like you have a media official video channel, they do have a lot of censorship on that. So I think it really comes down to the censorship, but may not be 2 separate apps. That's what I think. Yeah.
I think the nature of Red and WeChat is totally 2 different things, though. Like one is a SNS, and the other one is it's like an Instagram.
It's in
2
social media.
completely different app for different purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what's our last topic?
The last, well, you have several here. U.S. and China relationship. What is this thing?
That's a big topic.
That's a big
That's
topic.
way too big
huh?
a topic.
I think we covered it already.
No.
It just I think with this TikTok refugee thing, to be honest, it kind of make me appreciate the life we have here.
In what way?
I think a lot of times we've been complaining, like, I think even a lot of like local, we will complain, like, oh, we don't have much freedom. Like we want to use those foreign apps because we want to do this and do that. But if you look at like how affordable the electronic cars are, how affordable, like if you go to hospital, like to get a medicine, you kind of appreciate like it's easy to live a normal life.
So basically, you're saying that those are U.S. netizens being amazed by those Chinese lifestyle on RedNote kind of gives you that different perspective too, right?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm the type of person who always have a lot of things to say in my mind, but I think looking at
this, complaining about that.
But looking at this, it kind of make me to reflect as well, to think about it. Actually, what they're saying is true.
Grass is always green on the other side, right? So
yeah, I mean, maybe like 10, 15 years ago, it's hard to really compare to society, but now it's like almost comparable. But like I think what is happening is like people compare the city people, right, the tier 1, tier 2 cities people's life to a normal middle class US citizens life. I think those are very like it's actually close to each other, I think, right?
yeah, I mean, like what Red, the part of China that Red is really showing, just like I said in the very beginning, that because a lot of the users comes from the first tier cities and the very well educated and worldly people.
Yeah.
Still, it's good that we were showing part of the China to the US side again, but also people gotta know this is not a full China, right?
Exactly.
Like the actual China has a big spectrum. There are people who are still kind of fairly like not that well off, or maybe not that educated, or not that kind of open to the world. But also on the other side of the spectrum, you have all these people, a lot of girls from Shanghai, probably studied abroad for 10 years, coming back. So I mean, I'm happy that RedNote is really showing China, but to the people who are looking at like China on RedNote, you gotta see. I hope you guys can see even more of what the real China is.
But I think if I see like people talking about how, because people will do vlogs like how I spent my day. People are just amazed by within like around like $10K US, you can buy an electronic car. How like you can spend $17 a day to buy coffee, go to work, taking like Chinese Uber. Like if you live in a tier 2 city, like people are kind of amazed by that. Because I think about a $17 US a day. You want to take Uber, you want to eat delivery, you want to get coffee.
It's not never a direct comparison. The buying power is so different, right? How much you earn and how much you spend is also to proportion.
Not really. I do think coffee is definitely more affordable in China.
More affordable in China?
If you look at Starbucks pricing, that's US standard.
Starbucks.
Right? If you go to Starbucks in the States, you pay like $5-6 to get a coffee.
That's like the same here, right?
But right now we have more affordable options, brands.
Yeah,
that is like
true.
$2 US dollars. Like
one,
you get a coffee for like $1-2 US if you just go for some low end stuff.
Yeah. Do you think they're gonna? What do you think the future of TikTok?
Man, I don't know. Still,
it's
it
too
has
big.
Changed so many times just in the past 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, I think, the service is still gonna be up. And you know what? I don't know.
I just feel like if TikTok could live for another year without getting sold, I'll be really amazed.
Really?
Yeah.
You think they'll be forced to be sold?
I think so. There is some sort of deal and censorship just come in.
I think it need to be sold partially.
Just the US arm will be sold, I think. Yeah.
How is it gonna be sold partially?
That's what Trump said. You have to sell like 50% to a US company.
Yeah. I mean, Trump has a lot of followers on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So like he doesn't want to lose his followers.
Yeah.
And then the reason why
like Elon Musk, he's pretty pro China as well. So
yeah. They won't like I think we like the Chinese government actually they kind of like Elon Musk. They were like, okay, we can maybe trust this dude.
I think he's like the brand ambassador for the tech part for China, Elon Musk.
No, I think can we really say Elon Musk is pro China? I don't know about that, but he, as someone who is from the States, he definitely knows about China a lot and talks a lot of positive things about China, because I think he kind of recognized the developed parts of China.
I mean, the reason I say he's pro China because he has such a big business in China.
That's
if
true.
you look at China government, we do give him a really good deal.
Oh,
why?
Really
Because
good deal. Like
because
the
we
factory in
want him,
Shanghai, the mega factory in Shanghai, and everything.
Yeah, because we want him to be the ambassador in the tech industry.
True.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would we do that?
Yeah, so it was showing the world that we're actually very friendly towards foreign capital. Just come in, come in our casino, do it like
Casino.
It's kind of like a casino, right? It's like come in, you gamble, you make money. You go.
Anyway,
Okay.
so
figure of
I
speech.
hope you're enjoying this episode of the Chinese podcast, Chi Chi Pod. I'm Bao.
I'm Yushi.
Yeah, Rio.
So you can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, or on any apps that you are getting your podcast. We'll see you next time.
Oh, hold on. We forgot one thing.
What?
NordVPN. Come on,
Yes,
sponsor
NordVPN,
us.
if you're watching right now, you can sponsor us. We'll give you early bird price. We'll see you next time.
Chichipan.
All right, bye.
See ya.
瑞舍迎春，喜气洋洋，五光十色，五彩吉祥。
I was like the day before yesterday. I was in Busan. It's
That's
like the
nice.
city.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. And then I went there with my wife. So we bought the most expensive tickets that we can get, right? So it's actually quite
baller.
It's all right. I mean, when you're like middle aged already, and then you have like a little bit money, and then you feel like having a midlife crisis, and then you just start buying expensive tickets.
Just stop balling. Just go. Make it rain. Make it rain.
And then the thing is like we sit quite close to the stage. So a very good seat, right? So when we sit down, it's like, okay, now I'm going to enjoy like 2 hours of Eason Chan for the first time. And then the tragedy started to happen. So a dude right next to me started to sing along for every single song. Right? For every
single song.
For every single song. For like 3 hours straight. Right? And then loud and clear, right next to me. I was like, am I listening to Eason Channel, this random guy right next to me for 3 hours, right? And then I tried to ask him to stop, but he just wouldn't. He wouldn't
Did
stop.
he ignore you or like?
Yeah, just like, he wouldn't. He just start singing. It's like, keep singing. He just like wouldn't give a damn about this. So I was like, I feel like my ear was violated. Well, I was like,
So
Violated.
he's not good.
Violated.
He wasn't good.
okay, the good, like, he's just like raping my ears. But the thing is, like, he's actually quite good. But it's not good as like Eason Chan, right?
Well,
but he's
of course
actually
not.
quite okay.
Okay, so
Right?
he's on tune and like everything's on key and everything, right?
He's actually pretty, like, I would say close to professional level.
But you didn't pay to listen to him.
Exactly. So I was telling myself, okay, if it's just so it's kind of like someone is, you know, violating you, you know, like violate your body, and you can't really fight back. Might as well just enjoy.
Don't know how to comment on that.
So
That's not what he means.
That's
Okay.
we don't.
no, but like there will be a situations where like we can't really do anything, right?
Right.
So might as well just allow myself to enjoy this for a little bit. The joy of flesh. Bao is like.
I'm just so worried people are gonna cancel us. We haven't even get started.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is
Okay.
Will's personal opinion, and it does by no means that means that we support that kind of conversation
Yeah, I
right
think
now.
he just mean when life give you lemon, you make lemonade out
yeah,
of
oh,
it.
that's
what he
a good way
made.
to put it.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good way. So you made some lemonade out of that.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, like the most beautiful part of that story is the ending is not true. So what actually happened is I fought back, right?
So you're singing.
Start singing even louder.
Exactly.
You
I
start
was
singing
singing
louder.
louder than this dude.
I
Nice.
love this. And then
So I was like singing louder. I didn't even know the lyrics. I was like la 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 la
So-
la la.
You want to violate him even
I
harder.
love it.
Yeah.
So patty.
That is petty as hell, though.
And
Yeah.
then
So I was teaching him a lesson, or it's like why you know when life is trying to f you up in the ass, like you f it back, right?
and
Like,
then
So when life gives you lemon, you just throw that lemon back.